Let me tell you something. In my years of experience and work, particularly in the white-collar job space, over 80% of the workers that I've met don't give a crap about their jobs. They don't even give a crap about their career in its entirety. Don't get me wrong, they don't hate the income attached to it. They probably don't even hate the company or their colleagues or the work environment. They just don't give a crap. Oftentimes, the only reason why most of them are just hanging on to the job is because it provides a means to an end. The end being having some money in your pocket for sustenance. And this is not just among the junior employees. I've seen this amongst even managers and supervisors as well. Most of them have just adopted a work style that I call clock in, clock out. Their ultimate obligation has become to make their way to work any day that they can't find a reason not to, and then clock in, do just about enough to not get sacked or bothered by any of their superiors, clock out at the end of the day, and at the end of the month, receive their pay, and then repeat the cycle. And I'm not talking about the people who are doing just the bare minimum because they are not trying to overwork themselves for another person's company. No, these people I'm talking about are not willing to try anything extra, even for themselves. The only time you see them start to make deliberate attempts at improving their odds is when there is a new development in their lives that requires more income. Maybe like they get married or they have a new baby or something like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that these workers don't want more money than they are currently earning. Of course not. Who wouldn't happily accept an extra payout without any extra costs? But even the desire, I'm not even talking about actually making the effort. I'm talking about just the desire, just that it crosses their minds to make any deliberate attempt at improving on what they do at work. Most of these people I'm talking about are not even in that space. Usually, people in job positions like IT, accounting, and HR are the ones that I've seen the most making deliberate attempts at improving. For instance, IT is a very dynamic field. If you don't upgrade, you get left behind very, very easily. So oftentimes, I see IT guys learning the latest skills relevant to their jobs and even general IT trends as well, both for the company they work for and for themselves. Also in accounting, especially here in Nigeria, everybody wants to become chartered. So you usually see people in accounting trying to get that chartered certificate, become a chartered accountant. So you see them usually trying to upgrade in that area. But the funny thing is, aside from that area, you rarely see them deliberately engaging in any other program that can help them improve in what they do. HR people are also usually trying to get one certification or the other. Most of the HR people I know, especially the performing ones, are usually trying to upgrade, get the certification here, get the certification there, so they understand that as well. But aside from these guys, where are the other people? Rarely have I seen a front desk officer or like a regular customer service rep making any deliberate attempts to upgrade their skills and improve on what they do in their workspace. Most times they're just happy to clock in at the beginning of the day, do as required, clock out at the end of the day, and receive their pay at the end of the month. In my final years of secondary school, I went to a private school in the village. As a private school in the village, of course, funds weren't that abundant. But they did produce some very brilliant students, at least relative to the other schools around. But because of that inadequacy of funds, they couldn't employ like fully trained teachers like the government schools did. So they would hire ex-students of theirs who had already graduated from the school to now teach other students. And sometimes you will see a situation where a student will graduate from the school, go on to the university, get their bachelor's, possibly get their master's, and that teacher that taught them in school as a school leaver will still be there in that school teaching, still as a school leaver. No upgrades at all. And it's not because they couldn't afford it. Oftentimes, it's just that from the moment they get that job as a teacher in that school, they forget all about climbing up the ladder. And they stay there for years. And eventually, when something happens in their life that requires extra income from them, they are under pressure, but they feel like it's already too late for them to start trying to go back to school and upskill and do all that again. So they settle. Now, this is the situation of so many people in the white-collar job space in Nigeria. At first, that time that they are looking for jobs, they are in the space where they are trying to learn new things, try to get new certifications, anything that can look good on their resume, they are doing that. Once they get that job, they stop. They stop trying to get any new skill. They stop doing anything at all that can improve on the skill that they have, so long as they are getting the pay. And then they keep putting around for whenever promotion comes, doing nothing deliberate at all to help their cause. And that brings me to the topic of today: how to future-proof your career. In most cases, when you see videos like this, there's going to be a list of things that you need to do so that your career will be firm and solid. A lot of people will tell you things like make contributions to meetings, don't overshine your boss, do this, do that, do that. They will list several things that you have to do. But I have only one thing for you: that no matter how much of those other things you are doing and you are not doing this one thing, eventually you are going to be outed as a fraud. And that one thing is this: you have to be consistently providing value. I'm going to break it down for you so that you know that sometimes you're not providing value even when you think you do. Because people often confuse working with providing value. You could be working hard and be unproductive. They are not the same thing. You could be busy and unproductive. They are not the same thing at all. You could go to work, do a bunch of things all day, but everything that you did, the company would rather you didn't. The company would rather you didn't even come to work that day. So you could have been busy. You could have done a lot of hard work, but you didn't really add any value whatsoever to the entire company's being. So that is what people need to understand. So value is varied. Value is dependent on the situation and the circumstances of the whole thing. For instance, if I am stranded in the ocean right now and you bought me a Lamborghini while I'm in the ocean, that Lamborghini is pretty useless to me because there's almost nothing I could do with it to elevate the situation I'm in at that moment. Unless that Lamborghini is filled with food or provisions that can help me with sustaining myself in the ocean, or the Lamborghini is going to be sold off and then the money will be paid to the people who are coming to rescue me, that Lamborghini is very useless to me. You might as well just not have bought it. So that is the kind of situation that it is. You could have 100 billion naira in cash in a country where no one recognizes the naira. You'd just be as poor as any other person there. So that is how value works. Value is peculiar to different situations. You could be working in your company, doing something, maybe something that would have been productive to another company, but maybe something that would have been productive in a different situation. But what you're doing is not just productive to that company, and therefore it is not providing any value to them. There are many things you can do to help you become more of a value provider, more of a problem solver. But one thing I advise particularly is that people become deliberate about their work and career, because that's something that people are not doing. Something that people really need to help accelerate their growth in life and in their jobs and in their career is to become very deliberate about it. Most people are cruising through their careers. They are just on what happens, what the day brings. So they go to work, like I say, clock in, do their thing, clock out, and hope for an eventual increase in pay or an eventual promotion or an eventual opportunity that comes out that would help them switch jobs or better working conditions, stuff like that. But you can make all these things deliberate. Making it deliberate will accelerate the process. It will make it much faster for you to accomplish some of these things. And there are small things you have to do to become deliberate about your situation. One of them is that you have to pay attention to what you do. Yes, simple. While at work, pay attention to what you do. Say you are a customer service person, for instance. You attend to customers almost every day, if not all day. You interact with a lot of people on a daily basis. The interaction should be helping you learn. You should be paying attention to how you're dealing with people, what is working, what is not working, what people are usually coming around for, how you handle it. Take notes of all these things. If possible, ask for feedback from people so that it will help you sharpen your skills better, make improvements better. You become very valuable to the company you work for. And if someday comes that you decide not to work for that company anymore, you could still be very valuable to any other situation you find yourself in. One of the advantages of implementing these things is that it helps you become a better person, not just for your job, but for yourself. Because what it will do to you is that it will teach you the discipline required to pay attention. It will teach you the habit of paying attention. Anything you don't pay attention to dies. Is what you need to be doing with your career. You have to be analyzing what happened in your day at work. What can you do to make it better? What did not work so well that you need to get rid of, and stuff like that. It will make you a truly valuable person. And second thing is that you need to imbibe a growth mindset. You can't just get that first job and relax there forever until maybe circumstance forces you to want to do something better. That's not how it should be. You have to actually desire to be better. You have to be on a consistent incremental growth path. You have to every day tell yourself, okay, this is what yesterday was. How is today going to be better? How is tomorrow going to be better? How is next month, next year, next 5 years, next decade? You can't be in the same place doing the same thing for a very long time. I know people who have held the same position, and it's not even like it's a really high position. It's just like an entry or mid-level position of a company, and they've held it for years. They're not even making any attempts to even get better or even switch companies or even switch careers or stuff like that. So they keep staying in that place. You have to develop a growth mindset. Now, if you're still confused about your career, and that is the reason why you're not making any progress or making any deliberate attempts at improving yourself, maybe the job you're doing right now is not exactly what you would love to do, you can actually learn something else and do something else. You can actually start working on some other career, some other skill, so that you can switch careers to something that you would enjoy more and possibly pay you more and possibly be more aligned with your goals as a person. If you are confused on which one to choose, maybe you have a bunch of careers and you don't know which one to choose, you can consult my video on how to make your career choice. Use the career choice matrix and figure out a career that will be right just for you. But you can't stay stuck. You can't just remain in that place forever hoping for miracles to happen. So my advice to you today is, and I am ranting in this video because I have seen these things severally. I've seen a lot of people at work just so comfortable with the position they are in, even when the position is nothing. So I'm writing about it because I want you to make deliberate attempts at improvement, at progressing. But that's just the word I have for you today. And I hope that we will not stay in one place. Whether you are doing it for a company or you're doing it as a business for yourself, keep growing, keep moving. It's all I'm about. Never engage a mindset of settling. Don't ever say, okay, no, this is fine. I want you to be on a constant path of growth. Because if you stay in one place, eventually people are going to outgrow you and you become irrelevant and redundant. That is not what you want. You want to grow with the times. At least grow with the times. Some people are even going ahead of the times. But at least you have to grow with the times so that you can stay competitive in the world of today. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you check out the other videos we have on the channel. I am still your growth enthusiast, Chekeze. Remember to like the video, share the video, and if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and do it, okay? All right, I'll see you in the next one, and let's go together.